Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Riser Fall to talk about super duper wild card weekend. Actually, just the two games, Vegas at Cincinnati and then the Patriots in Buffalo. Stick around, let's get in. I'm back in the DFS dungeon. Hey ho, and we are back once again. Thanks for being here. I am Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Riser Fall to talk about Super Wild Card Weekend. At least today's games, Saturday the 15th here. Vegas heads to Cincinnati to take on everything that Burrow and Chase in the what is it? The Dog Pound. They got it's a jungle. I think Dog Pound is in Cleveland. But we look at the New England Patriots taking on Buffalo as well. Before we get into the game in all my moves in terms of players and everything, I want to mention Team Riser Fall. No active promo codes, but get this, the Discord, it's always been free, but we've taken it a step further actually. If you're a premium member, you have access to private shows. Like today, Mitch is going to be doing a private stream building lineups with you. You can ask questions, you can give your advice, and Mitch is going to be doing it live for free right in the Discord. He's added, several, they're called Ronin chats for every sport, NBA, NFL, NHL, from top to bottom here. And normally each day before lock, an hour before lock, all our coaches are there. I'm in there. Everybody's in there kind of giving out last minute advice or fades or studs and cores and everything. So make sure you go to the Discord channel right after we're done here. It's easily found. You can DM me. You can DM the Team Riser Fall Twitter page and say, hey, I want to join this Discord. Again, it's free, but there's some benefits to premium members. Free lineup building all weekend. Actually, all throughout the NFL playoffs here for your DFS needs. I mean, it really is priceless. I remember way back when, there was no such thing as DFS premium websites, and just looking and scratching and clawing around for like-minded folks to give me advice or to bounce ideas off. And now you have all of that. I have it. We all have it at the tip of our thumbs here with Team Riser Fall in the free Discord. Okay, let's talk about these football games. And right off the bat, we have two of these, as I mentioned before, Vegas at Cincinnati. And I have my notes right here, so I'm not being rude when I look away. But again, I just got tabs. So the Vegas Raiders head to Cincinnati, and then New England at Buffalo. So let's talk about Vegas at Cincinnati briefly. Now, when I got into the idea of these videos here, I've been doing it all season, but that's just one game. I mean, that's pretty easy peasy. You write the players down, you have a plan of attack, but then this weekend, right, you can play a single game. You can play Saturday only, Sunday only, or you can do the whole thing, the whole 6 games, everything Saturday, Sunday, and Monday here. So I'm going to do a video a day. Today is just for Saturday's game. I'll have another one tomorrow for Sunday's game, and for sure, I'll have a nice little single game video. Stafford and Kyler Murray, those two teams go at it. Arizona plays in LA here. So right now, at this moment in time, let's talk about each game as it, assumes like a single game slate here, and you can use what I say if you're going to build, a Saturday only, both games here. But this one, Vegas Raiders head to Cincinnati. The over-under in this one hasn't really moved. It sits at 49.5 points here. And again, wild card weekend, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, realistically anything goes. If you go back through time, at least the last few years, the underdogs, especially in the playoffs, make for a nice move if you have real life money on this thing. And again, Vegas is the underdog in this one, I believe. Let me look it up briefly. It's the one thing I didn't have in my notes. I'm not saying I wasn't prepared, but the Vegas Raiders are getting 6 points in this one. And I remember all week, you watch other broadcasts, you do research yourself here. The Raiders getting 6 points is kind of a big deal in this game because personally, again, I'll give you my final score here at the end here, but I believe this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. To be honest, again, this one is probably the most exciting game for me personally all weekend. Yeah, even Stafford, I would prefer this game here. So when we talk about it, Derek Carr, right off the bat, Carr at Cincinnati. Cincinnati 11th overall against opposing quarterbacks here. Carr, 15 grand on FanDuel, single game slate price here, and then $9,600 on DraftKings. Joe Burrow, Vegas, 12th overall against opposing quarterbacks here. Burrow, the kid, 16.5 on FanDuel, 11 grand on DraftKings. Now, of these two quarterbacks, right? The move, the casual fan move, and again, I'm a casual fan, you maybe diehard, however you want to put it here, but Joe Burrow, second season in the NFL, first overall pick, finally gets to host a playoff game. He's the starting quarterback in Cincinnati, and let's be honest here, I'm sure you've seen the memes and you've seen all that nonsense here, where Cincinnati has yet to win a playoff game in the day and age of texting. And that's all we do. Nobody really makes a phone call anymore. Everybody's texting. They haven't won a playoff game in 31 years. 1991. The first text ever on a cell phone was sent in 1992. So hey, you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan, shoot me a text and say, hey, it's been 31, 32 years and they finally won a playoff game, if that happens. Of these two quarterbacks, when you look at it, I think I would prefer Derek Carr here. I know that's wild, but again, we have to go against the grain. I know I've said it all season in all the other videos here, but those are only just one game. In this single game or Saturday only, of these two quarterbacks, I think Derek Carr is the move here. I think you're looking at 20 completions, 230, 235, something like that in terms of passing yards, and several touchdown passes, because my final score indicates that. I have the final 27-23. I'll let you know who I think wins at the end of this one, and who knows, maybe I talk myself out of the winner as we're going along here. Keep an eye on Marcus Mariota. You never know. These teams have nothing to lose here, so Vegas scratched and clawed, all the John Gruden stuff, all the John Madden death as of late, and they made it in the playoffs, so anything goes. Vegas is tough. They are dangerous, I'll tell you that. When we talk about the running backs here, Josh Jacobs, 13 grand on FanDuel, 9 grand on DraftKings. Cincinnati, 21st overall against opposing running backs here. I think that this game, when it comes down to it, is going to be running back versus running back. Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, and we go from there. But to me, Josh Jacobs, you're looking at 17, maybe 18 carries. And remember, all season in seasonal formats, people are saying, yeah, Josh Jacobs, he can't catch the football. And last I looked, I think he was 5th in the league in terms of catching passes as a running back here. Josh Jacobs is a stone cold stud. We've been saying it for years, and here we are. When we go down the list, Jalen Richard, Peyton Barber, I don't know how the touches are going to shake out here, but again, Jalen Richard can catch the football. We looked at Peyton Barber. He was a nice little find. I mentioned him several times throughout the length of the season, catching passes and filling in for Josh Jacobs when he was out here. So Jalen Richard or Peyton Barber, I would prefer Barber, who's 7 grand on FanDuel, and I believe he's very cheap, like $2,200 on DraftKings. When we get to the Cincinnati Bengals running backs, it's all about Joe Mixon. One of my favorite bets of the weekend is Joe Mixon, 2+ touchdowns in this game here. Joe Mixon, 14 grand on FanDuel, $10,400 on DraftKings here. Vegas, 26th overall against opposing running backs. So therefore, Samaje Perine, Chris Evans, nothing really crazy going on there. This will be the Joe Mixon show. You're looking at, 15 plus carries. I do think he finds the end zone twice, one on the ground, one in the air. Any way you slice it, scoring twice is outstanding. When we talk about the wide receivers, I'm just genuinely kind of attracted to, or drawn to, I should say, Hunter Renfrow. 12.5 on FanDuel, $8,400 on DraftKings. He is their wide receiver one, and this guy, however you want to put it, has been pretty dang good for them. He is like Steady Eddie. You can count on Hunter Renfrow, or I should say Derek Carr can count on Hunter Renfrow. I love Hunter Renfrow in a single game slate, in the overall slate. I do love Hunter Renfrow as an anytime touchdown bet as well. So if you're going to do that, then hey, get him in your DFS lines here. One other guy I love for the Vegas Raiders is Zay Jones. $9,000 on FanDuel, 5 grand on DraftKings. We've seen the last few weeks, Zay Jones has kind of made the most of his time, his targets and touches here. In last few weeks as well, Derek Carr looks to take a shot at least once or twice down the field, and it's always to Zay Jones. Does he connect this time around? We shall see. But Cincinnati 12th overall against opposing wide receivers here. Playoff game, is that mean Deshaun Jackson is going to show up big time? And you know him, you look at his stats or what he's done this season. Guy averages like 25 yards a reception. Granted, he only gets 3, maybe 4 targets a game, and even 4 is kind of a little ambitious here. But Deshaun Jackson on DraftKings only $1,000. So as a lineup filler or salary relief, Deshaun Jackson is in play in this game here. What I love about this, and I'll talk before we get into Jamar and T. Higgins here, What I love about Wild Card Weekend and this game specifically is anything goes. I've said it for a few weeks now in all my bottom of the barrel and all my other content. Anything goes, and it's going to be super tough to make any headway if you want to win any sort of like massive amount of money here. So to me, Deshaun Jackson, Zay Jones, that kind of stack here on paper, you're like, it's okay, and in your head you're like, this sounds awful. Why would I play Deshaun Jackson and Zay Jones? But again, if you're playing in multi-entry GPPs, I know that on FanDuel and DraftKings they're only $1, and you have 150 entries you can do. Look to use Zay Jones and Deshaun Jackson. When we get into Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd here, Jamar Chase 13.5 on FanDuel, $11,600 on DraftKings. T. Higgins 11.5 on FanDuel, $7,600 on DraftKings, and then Tyler Boyd 12 grand on FanDuel, $5,600 on DraftKings. So of these three guys, I just want to point out, I'm not in any way saying we should fade Jamar Chase or fade Higgins or Boyd here. I just want to say maybe we should temper our expectations. The Raiders they're very good. Their secondary and their coverage linebackers are very good. They're fifth overall against opposing wide receivers here. And again, I know it's not my fault, it's not your fault, and it's certainly not the Vegas Raiders' fault here, but Jamar Chase has been unbelievable. He has been out of his mind good, outstanding. Kid's got a long career ahead of him here. And we always expect, you would say even with T. Higgins or Jamar Chase, you expect 150 yards and multiple touchdowns a game. Looking back at what Jamar Chase has done this season, completely, I don't know if he obliterated what JJ did in Minnesota, but he set a rookie record for receiving yards, and boom. So anytime this kid is on the field, he's a threat to hit a home run multiple times in this one. I'm saying if you're going to play the single game, there's literally no way around Jamar Chase. If you're going to play the all-inclusive Saturday, Sunday, and Monday game, the six game slate here, I could make a case that maybe we look elsewhere other than Jamar Chase. And it's not about his price tag, it's about ownership percentage and what people expect out of this kid. So let's talk about tight ends, and we'll get the heck out of here. We'll move on. We'll go to Buffalo after this, which is going to be insanely cold. But hey, as a Detroit guy, cold doesn't bother me. When we talk about the tight ends here, Darren Waller, Foster Moreau, Cincinnati 30th overall against opposing tight ends here. Darren Waller 10.5 on FanDuel, $7,000 on DraftKings here. Now, Waller has been in and out of the lineup all season. He hasn't played the last few weeks. He's got a questionable tag, game time decision this one. If Darren Waller is in play here today, or I should say, if Darren Waller is active today, of course, he warrants our attention here. But again, I will say we need to temper our expectations. Waller started out hot in the season, 19 targets in week one. It kind of didn't get worse, but he wasn't the Waller that we drafted in seasonal formats. He wasn't like on fire, superstar stud tight end here. So again, Darren Waller, single game slate, with no way around it. But if you're playing the larger six game thing, Darren Waller, look his way. Foster Moreau, $8 grand, as I said, $3,200 on DraftKings. I do want to stop briefly on CJ Uzomah, Cincinnati Bengals tight end here, 8.5 on FanDuel, $5,200 on DraftKings. The Vegas Raiders, as I said, they're really good in the secondary in terms of covering wide receivers or pass catching backs here. They're 28th against opposing tight ends here. So to me, out of all the tight ends that are playing, not only today but all weekend, all wild card weekend, I love CJ Uzomah the best here. This kid is just, I don't want to say he's the forgotten man, but everybody, they sell out to stop Jamar Chase and Higgins and Boyd here. And CJ Uzomah has been, again, another nice find late in the season in DFS formats. His price tag, like I said, 8.5 on FanDuel, single game price, and only $5,200 on DraftKings. I've already booked an anytime touchdown bet with CJ Uzomah. He's in a ton of my DFS lines today. So I'd be a fool not to kind of, tell you that, what I'm doing at least. I would never tell you to do anything I wouldn't do myself. When we talk about the kickers, Carlson, the rookie Evan McPherson, nothing really stands out to me here. McPherson does have the better DVP matchup, but it is kickers. And when we talk about the defenses here, of the two, I might lean to the Raiders just briefly because, Joe Burrow, kid's coming into his own. First ever playoff start, first ever home playoff game here. Will he be nervous? Will he make some mistakes very early in the game? And I expect Joe Burrow to just get on a roll here in this one. So of the two, maybe the Raiders here, $3,600. I think the Vegas Raiders cover in this one, getting 6 points, but Cincinnati wins this game outright and they move on. Cincinnati Bengals win 27 to 23 in here. So with the 6 points, as I said, Vegas covers, Cincinnati wins the game. Let's talk about New England and Buffalo. If you need a break, you can pause the video. I know sometimes I drone on, but hey, it's playoff, it's wild card weekend. Everybody's excited and we're rolling. Let's talk about New England at Buffalo. As I said, let me bring up what I have in terms of the price points, not the price points, but like the point spreads in this one. I do know the over-under is sitting at right now 43.5. That hasn't budged all week. That opened on Monday and it hasn't changed. The Patriots are getting 5 points in Buffalo, and rightfully so. When we talk about this one, when we talk about all these wild card games, there are so many, outstanding storylines in this one, right? Buffalo, right here. Buffalo has been kind of like second best in this division for a long time. The Patriots have won the AFC East. What was it? I'm sure you're saying it out loud right now as you're watching here. 14, 15 seasons in a row with Tom Brady, though. Tom Brady's not there. It's Mac Jones. But Buffalo, 2 years in a row, they've won the division. I would imagine this game at home, start of the game, it's going to be like 9 degrees. By the end of the first half here, it will be probably minus 10 degrees. It's going to be cold. It's going to be nasty. New England, Buffalo, these two teams, they're well adjusted to this kind of move here. Aside from maybe Mac Jones. We know what Mac Jones did on Monday Night Football a while ago when these two teams met last. It was cold and windy, and I think Mac Jones only attempted 3 passes. He will more than likely double, triple, quadruple that in this one. But let's look at this from a player standpoint here. Mac Jones, as I said, 15 grand on FanDuel, $8,800 on DraftKings. Buffalo second overall against opposing quarterbacks here. So to me, this isn't about which quarterback to start. It's about price points and it's about advantages based on the coach, what the coaches are going to do. So really quick, Josh Allen, 17.5 on FanDuel, $12,800 on FanDuel. And guess what? New England's first overall against opposing quarterbacks. Does that really matter when it's Josh Allen at home, the Buffalo Bills? This place is going to be, where the Bills play, this place is going to be unbelievably wild. These fans, Bills Mafia, I love you. I appreciate you, but you guys and girls are unbelievably wild. How many tables are going to be slaughtered, outside before folks get in here? They're going to be lit on fire. People are going to be yelling and raucous. It's a playoff football atmosphere, and Buffalo has Super Bowl aspirations. So they're going to start that journey here today. Of the two, obviously Josh Allen. In a way, I don't think that the Josh Allen's DVP, defense versus player, I don't think that is even an issue here. Josh Allen is a superstar, a stud, right? And the only way this is going to hurt or harm Mac Jones is because of the matchup, the cold, the coaching staff here, and we shall see. Of the two, obviously Josh Allen. I think Mac Jones hangs 200 yards in this one on 15 to 17 completions, if that, maybe a touchdown or two. I think the touchdowns come from the running backs in this one, but I digress. Actually, no digressing. Let's talk about the running backs here. Damien Harris, Randre Stevenson. I know Harris has a questionable tag. He will more than likely play. This isn't the regular season. There's no tomorrow for either one of these teams. So Damien Harris, 14 grand on FanDuel, $10,400 on DraftKings, and then the young kid, Randre Stevenson, $10,000 on FanDuel, 5 grand on DraftKings. I think both of these two complement each other really well. They have all season, and it's not going to change in this one here. Damien Harris will, get the starting nod if he's active here, but you can never discount Randre Stevenson. He's just a bulldozer. I expect him to grow and gain as this game goes on. Cold weather, you love a back like this. I've said it a lot in Green Bay. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon are going to do wonders there, but they're not even playing this week. Why mention it? So of the two, I would prefer Randre Stevenson, to be honest with you. 10 grand is a high price to pay, but I think he pays dividends here. One more player I want to mention in passing here, Damien Harris, questionable tag. We've seen when he is active and on the field, this guy is efficient. He's pretty good, but he's had some injury woes, some lower body, soft tissue injury stuff. And in his absence, Brandon Bolden has played very well. So you hate to predict an injury or say, yeah, Damien Harris is going to be out of this one early. I hope not, but I could see a case here where later in the season, Brandon Bolden has kind of worked his way in as a pass catching back, and we've seen it in New England Patriots playoff history of the past here. James White, made his bones here doing that thing and turned into a strictly a pass catching back here. So is there a way, that Brandon Bolden kind of blossoms in this game? And they're going to need all the help they can get, the Patriots, to beat Buffalo in this one. So do not discount Brandon Bolden. If you're playing a single game entry, I think he makes for a nice move. Maybe in a captain spot. You never know. We have to get very crazy and wild, as I said, if we want to make any headway in terms of making some cash here. When we talk about the wide receivers on the New England Patriots side of things, there's not too much going on. Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, and even Keneal Harry. It's a nice, four-man group here. But of these guys, look at this. Buffalo's first overall against opposing wide receivers here. So you got to look at the price point, and that'll tell you all you need to know. Jacoby Myers, 11.5 on FanDuel, 7.4 on DraftKings. Kendrick Bourne, $8,000 on FanDuel, $5,200 on DraftKings, and Aguilar, 7.5 on FanDuel, $2,600 on DraftKings. I've said it a lot here. I know I keep referencing that, but with these 3 or 4 wide receivers, it's like playing the shell game on the streets of New York. Just pick one and you lift up the cup, and is the ball there or is it not? With these wide receivers, there is no rhyme or reason. But of these guys here, I would prefer Kendrick Bourne, and I'm not kidding here. Kendrick Bourne has grown to be not a luxury for the Patriots or Mac Jones, but he gets in space. Not saying he's slippery, but he gets open and he knows how to separate here. So to me, Kendrick Bourne is the move if you're going to play any of the New England Patriots wide receivers. And again, I could see a case here where fading the New England Patriots wide receivers, you'll be A-okay. Not much going on in that department. When we talk about the Buffalo wide receivers, that's where you want to be. Diggs, Gabe Davis, Cole Beasley, and maybe a little sprinkle of Manny Sanders in this one. Diggs, 14.5 on FanDuel, $10,600 on DraftKings, and that's the move. Granted, New England Patriots second overall against opposing wide receivers. I love Gabe Davis as an anytime touchdown bet. I love Stephon Diggs as an anytime touchdown bet. Gabe Davis, too, kind of let the cat out of the bag in this one. But to me, Stephon Diggs is going to be a major factor in this one, kind of, going off that massive season he had last year. Everybody had high hopes, and he's been outstanding by all purposes here. But to me, in this one, your stud players step up in big spots, and this is a big spot. I would imagine Buffalo, if they can beat New England here in this one, having won the division 2 seasons in a row, have they officially gotten over that New England Patriot hump here, where they are now in charge of the AFC East here. We shall see. When we talk about Gabe Davis or Cole Beasley, everybody would always point you in the direction of Cole Beasley because he's like a PPR machine. Every play, every snap, he's out there. Every snap, he's in the middle of the field. He is like the last option if things break down, and boom, he's the easy peasy kind of target for receptions. He kind of, I don't want to say he's fallen off the last few weeks, but he hasn't been that 6, 7, 8 reception guy that he has been. I believe he had 4 targets last week, and maybe, if not less, the week before that. So to me, it's all about Diggs. I love the idea that the Buffalo Bills will maybe take a shot or two downfield and try and challenge, Bill Belichick and his defense. And for that reason, I love Gabriel Davis, 9.5 on FanDuel and $4,400 on DraftKings, as I said. Let's talk about the tight ends, and we'll wrap this thing up, and I'll get you the heck out of here. Already over 22, 23 minutes in this one. But hey, once I get rolling, get talking, I get all these notes down, I'm rip-roaring, chomping at the bit to get it moving here. I love Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith in this one. Everybody, if you've watched my videos all season, which I thank you for, you know my propensity for stacking tight ends, 1 from each team or 2 from the same team. Today, Hunter Henry is very much in play for me, but he's $12,000 on FanDuel, only $6,200 on DraftKings. Buffalo second overall against opposing tight ends, but I love the idea of a Hunter Henry anytime touchdown parlayed with Stephon Diggs anytime touchdown, and we'll see what we get. So to me, Mac Jones and Hunter Henry have shown an awesome connection all season. Well, how many games in a row? Hunter Henry scored a touchdown like 4 or 5 games in a row here. I do firmly believe Hunter Henry finds the end zone again in this one. Jonnu Smith, $6,000 on FanDuel, only $1,000 on DraftKings. But hey, Jonnu Smith, they added both these guys in the offseason, paid both a ton of money, and Jonnu has been kind of a letdown. Let's just call it what it is. But all will be well in Foxborough with the Patriots fans if Jonnu Smith shows up and shows out today. I would imagine one touchdown reception from Jonnu would kind of erase the kind of ho-hum season he had here. When we talk about the Buffalo Bills tight ends, it's Dawson Knox, Reggie Gilliam, or even Tommy Sweeney. Dawson Knox is their tight end one here. 11 grand on FanDuel, $6,600 on DraftKings here. And look, the New England Patriots, third overall against defending opposing tight ends. And to be honest with you, this may come back to bite me, but I'm not a fan of any of the Buffalo Bills tight ends in this one. Dawson Knox, you're looking at maybe 2-3 receptions, 30 yards, 40 yards if that, and that's about it. I'm telling you, it's going to be a running backs game with a little bit of what's his name? Stephon Diggs. I lost my train of thought. Been talking for 25 minutes. When we talk about the kickers, Nick Folk has a Q tag. He's questionable. Guy's been automatic all season. 9 grand on FanDuel, $4,200 on DraftKings. When we talk about the DSTs, the move I'm making here in this one, and again, the third leg of my parlay here, is the Buffalo Bills. An anytime touchdown here. They're only 4 grand on DraftKings, and you can parlay the Bills with Hunter Henry anytime touchdown and Stephon Diggs anytime touchdown here. You get a rookie quarterback in his first playoff NFL start ever in a very tough situation in Buffalo. Freezing cold. Does Mac Jones make a mistake early on in this game, like a pick six or some sort of fumble that the Buffalo Bills pick up, scoop and score in this one? So to me, I love the Buffalo Bills DST, and I also love you for being here for almost 30 minutes, watching me talk, watching me drone on. I thank you so much. Before I split, I do have the New England Patriots are losing in this one. I have the Buffalo Bills putting up 28 points in comparison to the New England Patriots 20 points. So you can take the Bills minus the points in this one. As I said, the Bills are -5. I think they win by at least 7 or 8 points here, so you're safe with that one. And Buffalo Bills win this one 28-10. They get over the New England Patriots hump, or the curse, whatever you want to call it. So before I split, I just want to say thank you. Season's not over. There's another video coming out very soon for tomorrow's games and Monday's games. But before you split, make sure you go to Team Rise or Fall, like and share the video if you're inclined to do so, and make sure you head over to the Rise or Fall Discord. It is all free, but there is a little perk benefits for the premium members here. We have lineup building discussions, all playoffs long here, an hour before lock, as we're building and we're running ideas by each other. So make sure you go there, check that out, and thank you so much. I will see you again very soon for the 3 games on Saturday. So let's get hype. Wild Card weekend is here. I'll see you again soon. Bye.